States. So the president comes out and says he personally thinks that if a gay couple is in love and they want to make a long-term commitment to each other, that they should have the right to get married. They should have the same tax benefits, the same legal protections as a straight couple. And, predictably, there are some people who are upset with that. One of them is Dr. Paul Cameron, the co-founder of the Family Research Institute, their website, Family Research INST. Do I have that right, .org? Do I have that right, Dr. Cameron?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And I understand that recently you said that the President of the United States himself might be gay or might have engaged in gay sex. Do I have that right?
Yeah, that's starting to look a little bit more possible. One of the features of those who engage in homosexuality is it seems to captivate them. It's homosexuality 24/7.
How do you know that?
Well, I have interacted with a lot of clients. I interact with a lot of gays. I get a lot of emails and so forth from them, as well as written communications.
It has
something about this particular, what do you want to call it, a sin, bad habit, what have you, that just seems to dominate a person's life.
It has been my observation that the vast majority of breeders, of straight people, never even think about, gay sex or people being gay or anything like that, other than, hey, my friend is gay, but they don't sit around thinking about it all the time. And it seems to me that the people who are obsessed with gays are probably gay. Are you a secret gay?
No, not at all.
How do you know? If you think that it's a choice,
I know what I find attractive.
This is a serious question.
I'm not even interested in a male.
This is a really serious question, Dr. Cameron.
Okay.
If as a psychological question, let's take it out of you. I shouldn't personalize these things. Let's put it in the abstract. If a person, in their own life experience, knows that they have absolutely no interest in having sex with somebody of the same sex, of the same gender, then I would think that person would not assume that people make a choice to be gay. They would know that they're straight, and they would assume that other people are. On the other hand, if somebody was a closeted gay or a self-denying gay, and they could see the possibility of choosing to engage in gay behavior or choosing to engage in straight behavior, they might think that everybody simply makes a choice, and they would then project that onto gays and onto straights and say, oh, it's just a choice. Could it not be that the people who are pushing the idea that this is just a choice of behavior are doing so because they themselves are either gay or bisexual?
Well, all things are possible, but it's not most people, I'm sure. In my case, I had the unfortunate experience as a 3-year-old to have my first sexual experience at the hand of an older gay, I guess you'd say. And I know how the thing worked with me. I know how it works with my clients. Males especially, if something is pleasurable and interesting, can get hooked. And fortunately, I didn't get hooked. Fortunately, I got, I guess you'd say, hooked on women or females. And I would say that statistically, as well as with my clients, being seduced, having as your first sexual experience a homosexual experience is very powerful. It's not determinative.
I'm a breeder. I was born that way. I've known since I was 7 years old I was interested in girls. I think your thesis only applies to people who were born gay or partly gay.
Well, no one can disprove that one could possibly have some sort of inkling, but I know, and from the data that has been assembled, not only by me and my colleagues, but also by Kinsey, most people are not at all interested in homosexuality.
That's my point.
However, if their first sexual experience is homosexual, most males, not females, most males start to drift in that direction.
I don't believe it. I would submit that you're looking at a huge case of sample bias, and I said, this fellow David worked on me. I should say this was entirely consensual on my part as a teenager. But back to this, I'm experimenting with things. But back to this, I think that this is like if your sample is people who had gay sex and liked it, they probably were gay.
Well, you can never disprove something that exhausts the universe of discourse.
Well, no,
however,
I'm saying
however, two of my clients, let me just point out, the two of my clients were raped, both of them at about 10 or 11. It was their first sexual experience. They were raped anally. Both of them bled profusely, blah, blah, blah. And then both of them eventually got into homosexuality.
But people like, people like them, people like yourself who obsess on gay sex constantly, who are always thinking about it, it just seems to me must be gay.
I don't know your logic, because if you'll notice from our website,
I don't sit around thinking about gay sex.
We have a series of recommendations about how to make the world a better place. Among them are to ban gay marches.
How about making the world a better place
by the former Soviet Union? Go on. Yeah.
Well, how about if you want to make the world a better place? How about starting by not characterizing gays as pedophiles? Number one, which you have just done, and secondly, because most gays are not pedophiles, not any more than most straight people are not pedophiles, and the percentage of people who are is probably the same on both sides.
Whoa! It can't be. For instance, we have for the first time an almost perfect experiment in the Catholic Church.
You are the Catholic Church is another place where you've got sample bias. If you say to a young man you are never again going to have access to a woman, what kind of young man is going to go into that kind of world, particularly if it's already populated by a lot of people who may not have an interest in access to women?
All right, let me give you the statistics. You tell me what you make of it. Looking at the 22% of Catholic priests who are homosexual, 14% have been caught molesting boys or a boy. Of the rest of them that are heterosexual, 1% have been caught molesting a girl. That's almost a perfect natural experiment.
What that tells you is that the Catholic Church is seriously screwed up, and that the whole idea of absolute abstinence for the rest of your life doesn't work. That's what that tells me. And besides that, you're flying in the face of basic, science been done by the American Psychological Association, the American Psychiatric Association. Everybody's saying, no, sorry, this is.
Now, you mentioned two organizations which are willing to lie. I'm not. And I defy anyone from those organizations. Let's make it on your program. If they'll come and debate me, or in fact, I'll make sure I send you data. The data is overwhelming that those who engage in homosexuality are vastly disproportionately more apt to incorporate children into their sexual practices.
I don't believe it. And the APA doesn't believe it.
Gays,
neither EPA.
23% of them admitting to sex with children.
Paul Cameron with us. I just have to say, I think that's a vicious lie.
It's a truth.
And I think you are slandering a lot of really good and decent people.
Well, I'll send you the data. You look at it. Let's get on. Let's have another conversation after you've read the data.
Paul Cameron, Family Research Institute. Thank you, Paul.